Hi friends, welcome to code practicing. In this video, we will practice how to use the synchronize model of MySQL Workbench to synchronize two databases. This is our method 2. In our previous video, we have discussed and practiced how to synchronize two databases by using MySQL Workbench with synchronize with any source. So I will give a link in the description, so please do check that as well. For this practice, we have made for this practice we have a scenario. We have made some addition, deletion and updation in some tables, store procedure and functions in our local DB. Now we want to update those changes to our production DB. So to do that, we will follow some steps. So let's check what are the steps. Step 1, export the production DB from the live server. Second, remove the definer of a production DB file. Third, import into the workbench. Fourth, reverse engineering of our local DB. Fifth one, synchronize two database using synchronize model of MySQL Workbench. And final step, update production DB on the live server. So before proceeding with these steps, let's first check what is the structure of a local DB and our production DB. So let's check the structure of local DB and production DB. So that we will go to Workbench. So here we have our local instance and our AWS RDS server instance. In RDS we have a production DB. So let's check first what we have in our local DB. This is a local DB in localhost. What are the tables? 1 2 3 4 tables, and 1 2 3 4 5 store procedures in our local DB and 2 function in our local DB. Okay, now let's check what we have in our production DB. Connecting to our RDS takes some time, so please wait. It is loading. It is connected to our RDS. This is our production DB. Let's check what are the tables exist in our production DB. And so 1 2 3 tables, 1 2 3 4 5 store procedures and 1 function. So let's check what we have added in our local DB. User invoice is there in local DB, but this user invoice is missing in our production DB. And delete SP, this exists in production DB but not in local DB. It means we have deleted this store procedure from our local DB. So we don't want delete SP store procedure in production DB. So we will drop this. And new yes, this is a get order store procedure is a new newly added in local DB, so we need this over here. And functions, this is a new function. This is a new function. This is missing over here. So we got the basic idea of what missing, what added, what deleted from the production DB and local DB. So we will now proceed with the steps one by one. So first step, export the production DB from the live server. In that, dump structure only. So for that we will go to image, for export the production DB from live server. For that we will go to administration, on administration, then export the data export. This will open this window. So click on productionDB, select all, and that select dump structure only. Okay. DB. Okay. Click on start export. This will take some time, depend on your database size. If you already have the structure of your productionDB, then you don't need to do this step. You can use your existing productionDB structure in for this practice. Okay, it's finished. So let's check. The file is created. So what is the next step? Yes, we have done the first step. What is the next step now? Remove the definer. Remove definer of exported production file. So we will remove our definer admin. As you see, what is the current definer? Yes, this is a current definer in a productionDB. So we are importing, as we are importing this file to our local database, we will update the definer of this file. We have created a duplicate copy of a productionDB so that we have the preserved our original productionDB. So we will update definer of our productionDB. Yes, so replace with some empty string and save it. Okay. So we will use productionDB copy of our productionDB for our process. So what is the next step now? Import into Workbench. Yes, for importing into a Workbench in a local host, we will go to administration, data import and restore. Click on this. Click on import self-contained file. Select that modified file. We just have to remove the definer from it. And even in this, we will dump structure only. Click on dump structure only and click on start import. Okay, this is finished. So let's check. Is it imported in our local DB or not? On refreshing, we will get a productionDB. Yes, 3 tables, file storage procedure and function. This all we have in a productionDB in RDS on RDS. So a productionDB is imported on our localhost. Now we will sync our localDB and productionDB on our local instance. Okay, we had completed our third step. Okay, for this practice we will create a new new table. Okay, check. Yes, it's done. This check as the table is created user activity which is not exist in a productionDB. So a new table is created now for this practice session. Edit one store procedure. test this. Okay, we have updated our at product. Okay, let's get done with this. Let's check what is the first step. First step is reverse engineer of localDB. Okay, for that go to my bench. At click files. Under file you will get new model. On clicking of it, new model window opens. The tab is opened here. We'll check on database and we will get reverse engineer. Click on reverse engineer. Set parameter for connecting to the DBMS. Stored connection. As we have local DB in our local instance, so we will select our local instance. Left is connect to DBMS and fetch information. Executed successfully. Continue. Select local DB. As we want our model, local DB model, we continue. Click continue. Retrieve and reverse engineer schema object. Retrieve object from the selected schema. Check result. Retrieval complete successfully. So continue. Yes. Import MySQL table objects. Import MySQL routine object. Okay. Select execute. Reverse engineering progress. Use an object. Place object on diagram. The operation completed successfully. So the model of our local DB is created. Okay, let's close this. Yes, the local DB of our model is created. Okay, so let's check what's the next step. This is a very important step. Step 5, synchronize to database using Synchronize Model of MySQL Workbench. Okay, for that we will have to open a Synchronize Model with database. For that we will go to our MySQL Workbench. We will see under database is there a Synchronize Model or synchronize with any source? No, it's not there. So where can we find? We can find that under model tab, then database, then click yes. Here you can see reverse engineer, synchronize model, and synchronize with any source. For this practice we will use synchronize model. So click on synchronize model. Yes, synchronize model with database. Okay, set parameter for connecting to DBMS. Stored connections. Okay, as we are synchronizing in a local machine, so we will select local instance. If you want to sync directly with the server instance, so you can select AWS RDS server instance. For this practice we will use local instance. Click. If you don't want to synchronize stored position function, you can skip this by clicking on this checkbox. We will not do anything here, so click on continue. Connect to DBMS and fetch information. Okay, let's connect to DBMS, retrieve schema list from database, check common server configuration issue. It's completed successfully, so continue. Okay, select the schema to be synchronized. Okay, select is the model schema, which is your local DB, and RDMS schema. This is local DB, but we want local DB to sync with our production DB, so we will override this. Okay, override the target schema to be synchronized with or productionDB. So by clicking on override target, it's override RD schema. So now we have localDB and productionDB. So click on continue now. Okay, retrieve and reverse engineer schema object. A retrieve object from selected schema, check result, retrieval complete successfully. So click continue. Yes, we have got the difference and from localDB and productionDB. This arrow indicates that there's a changes we have to in a in a localDB. So we have to make that changes in productionDB too. productDB has the changes. NA means not available. So user activity, as we had created just now, user activity in localDB, and that table is not exist in productionDB. So we have to create this. User invoice is not there, so we have to create function exist. It means there is some changes in function, so we have to create this get ordered stored procedure exists in localDB but not in productionDB. I have updated some changes in stored procedure. Even this in stored procedure, there is no change in these two stored procedures, and here yes, in productionDB we have delete sp stored procedure, but which is not exist in localDB. Means we have deleted the store dl sp from localDB, so we will drop that from productionDB. For each of this green arrow, we can check what are the statements which are going to be executed. Okay, for this let's check this. These are the statements you can check. Okay, let's continue. This is a script generated by a synchronized model with database. Save this file. We will use that file to import into our live server to update our productionDB. So click on execute. If this execution completed successfully, it means we can use that newly created file for updation of productionDB. So click on execute. It's synchronized complete successfully. It means we can use that file to in our production to update our productionDB. So close this, refresh, and let's check. Let's check our productionDB is similar to our localDB or not in our local instance. This productDB is there. User activity is which was not there in productionDB is created now. User invoice even was created. Is get order store procedure is created. Delete sp is removed from store procedure and productionDB, and function this new function is created. It means that execution is successful. Now we have a localDB and productionDB synced. The structure are same now. Okay, So let's check what is the next step. The next step is a final step that update productionDB on the live server. Okay, to update a productionDB, we'll open our newly created file and remove definer localhost. Okay, this let's say the productionDB on localhost has the definer root localhost. If we import that file directly into our server, then we will get the error of access denied. So we don't want that error on our live server while importing that file. So we will remove this definer as this user not as this user not exist on our live server. So that we will okay, we'll open a new file. Open that file, check for localhost, check for this definer. Sorry, copy this. Yes, localhost, replace with the empty string. Yes, save this file. Now we will use this file to input into our live server. This, go to MySQL Workbench, server. Okay, I will import our newly created file. Just open this file in our workbench. Yes, we will execute this file to import this file into workbench. So open our action of output. When we will execute this file, we can see what are the statements executed one by one. Okay, let's start our execution of our new productionDB. Yes, here you can check what are the execution what statements are executed one by one. Yes, and yes, this file is executed successfully. So now refresh this and we will have our localDB and productionDB synced. The structure will be same. Okay, productDB, in that I had added product modified by, and this is a new column. This user activity and user invoice are the two new tables we had added. Okay, so compare this. Store procedures 1 2 3 4 5 store procedures is 1 2 3 5 store procedures, 2 functions. Yes, 2 functions. Yes, so it means we have successfully synchronized our localDB and productionDB using Synchronize Model with database of MySQL Workbench. Thank you for watching.